And now, Freelance Heroism presents Return to Ravenloft.
Hey everybody, welcome to Freelance Heroism. My name is Deese.
And I'm Rachel.
And before we even get started, we just want to say thank you to everyone out there who donates at the Patreon, in particular those who donate at the producer tier.
Yes.
Rachel, would you like to let us know who they are?
I would love to. We want to say thank you to Duncan, Nate, Breakmeister, and Rebecca. Thank you so much, everyone.
You help us make a better show for everyone, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Rachel.
Deese.
Players die.
That's true. That happened in my home game yesterday.
Uh-oh.
I
to
feel
a new player.
To a new player. This was, I think she's like maybe played a couple like kind of one-shots or at least listened to actual play podcasts, but my game that I've been running is her first like sort of real campaign that she's ever played in.
Right.
And her character experienced permadeath yesterday, and I felt bad. I felt bad for it.
Why? Did you break the rules?
I didn't break the rules. I felt bad because I felt like it could have been avoided.
Right, but not by anything you did.
No.
I mean, the only way to have changed that, as I understand it, the only way you could have changed the outcome is by fudging some of the systems.
Yes.
Like, pretty dramatically, though, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I think I would have had to sort of fundamentally change the nature of some of the monsters that she was engaged in. And where they're at, I mean, they're pretty high level. They're level 9.
Right.
And they're in like a dangerous place.
We should say using full HP,
yes,
not half HP.
That's correct. They have max HP.
They did have opportunities to survive.
Yes.
I will say this. I want to just preface. Characters in D&D are going to die. They're going to. It's going to happen. You can dodge it for as long as you want.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen, at some point it'll be completely out of your control. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a trope. I want to talk about this too, and we'll circle back to it. Right?
Okay.
There is a trope in D&D that it's become a trope. I don't know I hate it. Don't split the party. It's like something that like an old D&D player said to a bunch of new D&D players, and they thought it was like gospel, and now they say it all the fucking time to everyone in all instances, like it's like there's no negotiating it.
Yeah.
Think about it for a second in your life. Would you ever hang with your friend crew and never leave their side ever?
No.
Can you imagine life like that? Where you were literally an amalgam with 5 other people and you never left or went off on your own or had any fucking, you know what I mean? You're not the Borg. You're a fucking person.
Right.
That being said, there are times when it's not the best.
I would agree.
Contextually.
Right.
So, sorry to interrupt, but that as a lead-in, why don't you explain to us the situation that happened?
Okay.
Where it went sideways, and the reaction that new players have. We'll talk about that, and then maybe the healthy way to look at it.
Sure. So, this player played the party druid. The party is exploring this abandoned city, looking for wizard towers. They found a tower and assume that all towers are wizard towers. Right. So the front entrance was guarded by these constructs that the party has encountered before, and they are, to put it bluntly, afraid of these constructs. They did not want to engage with these constructs. But they noticed there was a hole in the roof of the tower. So they turn to the druid and they say, "You have wild shape. We want you to wild shape and go into the tower and search for this thing that we're checking all these towers for."
Perfectly reasonable thing to ask.
Yeah. Right. She had a short rest to get her wild shapes back.
Ooh.
But she only has 2. So she turns into a squirrel because she can only turn into creatures that she's seen before.
That's a good wrinkle, yeah.
So she turns into a squirrel, gets into the tower. So she's at the top floor, and on the top floor she sees there is a green frogman. This is a new player, so she has never heard of the Slod. But we had some veteran players at the table who immediately knew what they were and know that they're dangerous. And I had to sort of remind everyone else at the table, your character isn't there. You can't say anything about what she let her organically experience what's happening.
Right.
She looks around, finds some information, goes back, changes out of her wild shape. So she only has one wild shape left. She tells the party what she's found, and the party says, well, there should have been something else there. We think you missed something. We want you to wild shape and go back in through the roof again and look for this thing that we think you missed.
Did she miss anything?
No, she did not.
Okay.
They didn't know that. I as DM knew that, but I can't say actually she didn't miss anything because that's not my job as DM.
Right.
So she uses her last wild shape, goes back into the tower.
By the way, you like how defensive you got there. That's not my job.
That's not my job.
No one's saying it's your job. Okay, take it down a notch, all right? Take the edge off.
She uses her second wild shape, goes back in the tower, searches the top floor for a while avoiding this green slod.
Right.
Doesn't find the thing that the party thinks that she missed, so she goes downstairs, still searching, and there is a blue slod downstairs who sees her, attacks her. She was a 1 HP squirrel, so once that 1 HP goes, she pops back into her druid form. She no longer has unable to escape because the hole is in the ceiling and she can no longer access the ceiling. Right. So she screams to alert the party that's hiding elsewhere, and then runs back upstairs with the blue slot following her, but upstairs is where the green slot is.
That's not great.
No.
That's a
she did
maybe not that most ideal situation.
She did try the door, but the door wouldn't open, and she wasn't sure why the door wouldn't open. So that's why she ran upstairs. So the party runs to the tower. The tower is guarded by these constructs outside. The party immediately begins fighting the constructs.
Oh no.
Here I think that someone should have perhaps tried the door, because clearly she screamed because there was a problem,
We're going to do the professional grading structure after this. I want you to tell us this.
Okay. So they fight the constructs. The constructs have an ability to do lightning damage, which you are at disadvantage for if you're wearing armor. So the constructs specifically target the paladin, the fighter, and the cleric.
Yeah.
The party has a very hard time fighting these constructs.
What are they shaped like?
Humanoid.
So they could trip them, knock them down.
Yeah,
how heavy are they? How big?
They're like medium humanoid. So
and they're fighting on a bridge or like a...
No, it's like it's in a city, so it's just like on the street outside the city, outside the tower. Meanwhile, at the top of the tower, the druid attacks the green slod, and she uses moonbeam, which is like a 40-foot like cylinder of light. So there's this beam of light shining out of the hole in the ceiling now. Unfortunately, the blue slod then knocks her unconscious. So everyone sees that the beam of light goes out.
Right.
They continue fighting the constructs.
Oh no.
I have the druid make her first death save, and she fails.
Sorry, another bit of information about the constructs. This is important. They use electric kind of attacks, I assume.
Some of them did. It was a combination of like 3 different types of these constructs. Some of them use electric attacks. Some of them have like melee and ranged weapons. And then one of them...
You said they were good against metallic, so I assumed...
Yes. Yeah. So basically with their lightning attack, you have to make a dexterity save, but if you're wearing metal, you make that save at disadvantage.
Is it ranged?
They have a combination of either a touch or a 60-foot line, but they have to do a recharge for the line. So
Okay.
they weren't able to do the line every turn, but they did get a fair number of the line attacks in.
Well, they fought them for a long period of time, so
they did. They fought them for, I would say, like probably maybe 5 or 6 rounds.
Ooh.
Just outside fighting these constructs. So Druid falls unconscious. She fails her first death save. It goes to the blue Slod's turn. Slods are chaotic creatures. So this one attacks her while she's still unconscious. So she takes a second failed death save. Again, no one in the party tries the door. They all continue fighting these constructs.
Would the door have opened had they opened it? They tried to.
I will get to that later.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So next round, they're all still fighting these constructs. Druid makes her death save, so she has 2 fails, 1 pass. Unfortunately, the blue Slod's turn, it makes her take another failed death save. So she is dead.
Right.
The party continues fighting these constructs until they are all dead.
Really?
Really. And then I described when the constructs die, they basically explode into ash and there's nothing left. After all the constructs die, the paladin's like, I want to stay out here and burn the bodies. And I'm like, there are no bodies here to burn. Finally, they try the door. This is a metal door, and they find out it has been welded shut.
Oh, okay.
So that's why the druid was unable to open it from the inside, was that this door has been welded shut from the outside. The wizard uses pass wall to create like a big hole in the wall so that way they can get into the tower.
Right.
They slowly make their way up to the top floor where they find this blue Slod holding the very dead body of their druid friend. They spend a few rounds killing the Slod. I had to keep them in initiative order this entire time because I had to count for Revivify.
Right.
Because Revivify, it turns out only the druid had prepared Revivify.
Oh.
They didn't have any resurrection scrolls. Neither the cleric. The cleric didn't have any kind of resurrection spells prepared.
She had 3 failed death saves.
Yes. So
she had no potions or anything to try to reset the death save?
No. I mean, at that point, she was already
unconscious,
beyond a potion.
Yeah, but I'm trying to plan it out that had they got into the building faster.
If they'd gotten into the building faster while she was still making death saves, they could have done like a healing word. I think
anything to just
a couple people, still had potions. Usually the ranger has good berries, which give you 1 HP, which stabilizes you. But it was beyond that point. So they defeat the Slod. They have like, I think 2 rounds of this Revivify left, and everyone is finally checking their bags, and they realize nobody has any resurrection type spells prepared. Nobody has any resurrection scrolls.
And the time limit will run out by the time you prep.
And the time limit will be out by the time. So the minute passes and the druid is unfortunately still dead. The party kind of bundles up her body and they're trying to figure out, what they can do. So they search the tower to see if they can find anything like a resurrection scroll, or to find like the information that they sent her back for, and they find nothing, and they realize that this is not one of the towers that they've been searching for.
Just a tower.
It's just it's not a wizard's tower, it's just a tower. And so this is like I said before, this is a new player. So I feel bad that she had to experience character death, especially for this instance.
They have to, though.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, look, what better time to do it than on a character you love and early in your play, right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, well, there's gonna be some kind of like sympathy here for sure.
Yeah.
Because I feel sympathy for anyone who loses their character, because you make them and you grow to like them a lot.
Yeah.
But there is a reality here that adventuring is a complicated and dangerous thing, right?
Right. Right.
situations develop in not ideal circumstance.
That's why there's whole towns of NPCs who are like, I'm not an adventurer. I bake bread. I don't want to go out and fight a dragon.
Right. And the reason is because people die.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just the reality of it. And not just do they die, but they also, hopefully, the player whose character died learns that there are situations in which there aren't great options for you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And in those situations, you either have to think very creatively to try to buy time, which I think maybe the best. So we'll just do the grade here. Is that cool? Can we just do some quick professional grading?
Of course.
First things first, you're in a situation with two enemies. Don't draw the attention of the second one until you have to, ever.
Correct.
Right. You were trying to get up to the roof, but you weren't going to be able to get out through the roof anyway. You'd have to make, a climb check up a long cylinder? Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? I'm assuming she's a druid, so probably not stacking strength.
No.
Right. So the idea then is to try to off the one enemy as quickly or as effectively as possible, or to evade them and make it complicated for them to get you.
Right.
Hide from them, do something. Just buy yourself some time in that situation. But definitely not chain a second enemy into the equation, because that's just not great.
Right.
But I understand in the moment, new player, there's a panickiness to it.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
That comes with experience, right?
Yeah.
And now this memory, not to be cold, but this memory and loss of character and that series of actions will maybe in the next iteration kind of illustrate why you do certain things a certain way.
Right.
Maybe it's a teachable moment. Long intro, but an important topic, especially for new D&D players. You should definitely listen to it.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dees.
Yeah.
We are at our season 1 finale of
Season
Return to
finale.
Ravenloft.
Oh man, hey, my character finale, really. Sorry, that was mean. Yeah, season 1 finale of Return to Ravenloft. Nice.
Yes. Yep. So next week we will start a new one-shot for Candlekeepers. We'll have a few episodes of that, and then we will return with season 2. But for today, this is Return to Ravenloft, episode 31, Soth by Southwest.
A great title. Great title. Some brilliant mind thought that one up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The best fucking great hair too.
All right, to the episode.
The skeletons more have come through in full armor, almost as heavy as Kess's, and still slashing down the ghouls from behind, or the ghoul creatures from behind. And that's when you just get this icy cold feeling across the deck as a full armored creature steps through, red glowing eyes, full helmet, dirty purple sash, a rose embraced on his breastplate. And he looks up and he sees Larissa doing the dance, and he bellows, "Hold your dance, Captain. I know what it does." Larissa stops kind of for a moment and locks eyes, and she mouths the name Soth. And he looks over, and he is looking around, and he realizes he's at sea. Then his eyes make contact with Kestrel. Kitara? Skeleton said that,
drunk. Sorry.
Skeleton said the Dark Lady was here, but I didn't believe him.
Not this again.
How many people are you in this game?
He's like, he's kind of looking at her oddly and just, he sees the spiritual weapon floating and sees the paladin, a cleric. That's not Katara.
I don't know how like good Kess looks right now. She is wearing like her blackened armor. She has a shield and she's wielding a mace of terror, which if you look at the art for it,
No, the Mace of Terror is it's the spell spiritual weapon.
Well, that just looks like a
floating
floating weapon. And it does force damage. So
no, but Soth was a paladin at one time in a sense. He recognizes the divine spell, and Katara wasn't a divine caster.
Oh, okay. All right.
So the darkened armor, the dark hair, the mace, it screams Katara hard.
Mm-hmm.
So he is sidestepping from his past, back and forth moving, but as he looks around, Captain, a deal. We'll clear the deck. Do not cast that spell, and then we'll parlay. Larissa nods and she stops dancing. Soth gives an order to his skeletons to obliterate the ghouls still. He lifts up his hand and he hurls an orb of hellfire at Essential where the ghouls are, and obliterates not probably, but he obliterates 8 of them. You literally just see them begin to burn up and just their bodies turn to ash on the deck.
Cass is not putting her weapon away, but she is just sort of like standing back.
And top of the round, Kev. So you run past your boys and you're able to actually now see the field as it is.
Okay, I'm going to stay kind of hidden. I don't want to be too visible to this guy.
All right, sounds good. Rain.
So they've mentioned parlay and they're now taking care of things.
They're taking care of what they can right now.
Right.
His full force hasn't come through the mist at all.
Okay.
And the way the boat's turning, it's starting to pull away from the mist.
Okay. And I've still got a ghoul in front of me that I had attacked. So let me just go ahead and finish that job off then. First attack is 19. Second attack will be a 17. So those will both hit. So I'll just do all the damage at once. That's 12. And 15 is 27. And 13 is 40 total. So I think that probably
that one's down. Yep.
Okay. And then after I take care of that one, I'm going to move to a position to where Kestrel is. I'm going to move back to her.
Okay.
Because I heard him make the comment saying that she was someone and then not someone, and now I'm a bit worried about their intentions.
All right.
I never met Soth at the beginning. I hid from him the last time too.
Yes. Yeah. You literally saw him grab one of the specters and pretty much rip it in half.
Yeah.
So, all right. Kess, you're up.
I don't have any of the initial monsters near me, do I?
He killed the one in front of you. There's a couple around you, but I mean they're probably within 10, 15 feet.
Do these guys seem like they're gonna be mad?
It's on you. The skeletons don't really show emotions. The only one that seems to actually has true intelligence is the one bellowing.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna move over to one, and I'm gonna do my insightful fighting.
All right.
So my insight versus their deception, I got a 24.
I rolled a 15, damn it.
20 damage.
All right.
And I'm still just like keeping an eye on this guy.
All right. One of the ghouls tries to take another bile spit at the two of you.
All right.
Go ahead and give me con checks again.
No.
10.
14.
Damn it, she made it. All right. That's another 27 and 8, then 13 to Kess.
Okay.
Can't really repoison Nate. The one that's spitting at you, you see a sword go through the back of its head and pin it to the deck.
Okay, good.
And then it twists the scimitar through, relieving it, and just steps through the face as it continues to the next one.
Jeez. Okay.
You see one of the ghouls actually try to turn on the armor skeletons as it tries to stab forward and reach in. The skeleton, the ribs actually close around the hand, locking it in place. And then with the arm shield, it breaks through the arm and hits it until it actually goes through it.
Okay.
Soth actually approaches you. Rain. He walks through towards you, looks down at you. What's wrong, mortal?
What's wrong? Well, having a bunch of gargoyles and a skeleton army suddenly show up out of the mist while we were just trying to float along, I imagine that's not right.
I meant with you. You're moving slower. Did the poison seep in?
Oh. Yeah, I suppose there is that.
My idea of following the mist through onto a boat was not my idea. I'm thinking there's a hard deck below, but that was not my intention when I was on the land.
I wouldn't have thought so, to be honest. But yeah, now that you mentioned the poison, that's a bit of a problem. Sure.
He's like, sorry about that. I had a layover on boat.
He reaches in his into a pouch on his sides and he pulls out and he drops a couple glass vials at your feet.
Okay.
One of them should work. I pulled him off a cleric who was over mouthy earlier.
Yeah.
The rest are mega poison.
Yeah, I know.
Choose the Mountain Dew flavor you prefer.
My first thought was you could have just handed them to me, you dick, instead of dropping them down on the ground, making me bend down for them. And then
he likes your
one
curvature.
of them should work.
Also, I like how this is establishing that like Soth is healing the party before I do.
Yeah.
Well, I think we all knew that was more likely to happen.
I think I'll say thank you, and I'll reach down and pick up the vials and try and figure out which one.
The closer you get to him, the colder you get. It's almost ice being near him.
She's like, guys.
He probably did you a favor, not actually touching you, handing you the vials.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Are you married to him? My wife. She's like,
I do. The minute he said that, that's where you were going to go with that.
Sorry.
All right. Well, thank you.
He looks past you. Are you or are you not the dark lady that the living skeleton spoke of?
I don't know a living skeleton, but I have
he goes
been called
by the name Brendan.
Still don't know him, but I have been called a dark lady before.
Do you remember that?
Vespera calls Kestrel a dark lady. She calls her that in some of her songs.
Old dusky hues over there.
He turns around and slashes at the one you were slashing at. Roll to 19. And he does 28 damage with 1 strike and puts it down. Damn, the mindless undead. They're more of a burden sometimes than they're worth. And it begins to walk off towards the next one. Top of the round. Kev?
I'm going to stay hidden. Is there a way that I can observe him while kind of keeping myself tucked away?
Yeah, you can stay at this corner and not come out and just keep watching.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to lean flat against the wall. He didn't see me when he got there, so there's no reason for him to know I'm here at all. Make any weird connections on his own.
All right. Sounds good. Rain, you're up. You have
I'll
3 potions in front of you, a blue, a green, and a red.
Berry blast. Berry blast.
No, code red. Go for the code red.
Baja, bitch.
Code red.
Did you order the code red?
Goddamn right I did.
Well, I brought you a Baja blast.
Before you drink the blue, think it through.
Before you
Swallow
drink-
the red, you'll end up dead.
Drink the green if you don't want to be mean.
Yeah.
If that's how you determine which one to drink, I want to lose it. If rhyme leads you to perdition, that'll be it.
The only thing I could do would be to make an Arcana check to see if I or a medicine check, and honestly, neither one of those does a damn thing for me because they're +0. But I guess I'll make a medicine check just to see if I can figure out what the fuck it is. That's a 4.
Help action. I'm close enough to see you. I'm like,
That's
not
now
that one.
That's a 14 now.
All right. Which one you rolling on?
The green one.
All right.
It
It's
came to
rhyme
me in a
time, baby.
song.
He's got a song in his heart and a poison in his veins.
The green one is an antitoxin.
Hey, I drink that bitch.
You
All
should have
right.
known on the bard boat that you always go with the rhyme.
Yeah.
You feel immediately as it hits you, your body begins to recover from the poison. You start losing your sluggishness and your blows and how you're moving.
All right.
Got that ecto cooler in him.
Oh,
You don't feel like it's like eating you from the inside anymore.
Oh, gross. All right. I think so is it safe to say that the ghoul problem is under control at the moment, or is it still
They're under control.
okay?
Some are actually running back into the mist or trying to.
Okay.
They fear him more than they fear you guys.
All right. I kind of got the crap beat out of me, so I'm gonna use my second wind. So that's a D10 plus 8. 16 healed back. Okay, I feel a little better after that. That was a bonus action. I assume it was an action to drink the potion and do the.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it.
All right. Kess?
Dark Lady? Dark Lady. Paging Dark Lady.
Maiden of Darkness.
Dark Lady, White Courtesy.
How many names is she gonna have by the end of this campaign?
I don't know. I'm still working on them.
Some people
Ducky,
call her
Adrian,
Maurice.
Some people call her the Space Cowboy.
That's when we have our Spelljammer campaign.
Some call her the Ducky of Love.
Quack.
Cass is gonna kind of stand back because she's keeping an eye on this guy.
I was muted, but that I laughed hard at the that was so funny. Sorry, you needed credit for that one.
Thank you. I was like, man, that really didn't feel like a swing and a miss. But,
I was just muted, but I laughed real hard. It took me a minute to unmute. Sorry.
Cass is gonna just sort of stand back. She's keeping an eye on Soth, since he seems to be yet another person who thinks she's somebody else. She doesn't put her weapon away, but she's just kind of standing back right now, kind of near Rain.
All right. Most of the ghouls begin to actually flee into the mist again. As the boat turns and actually clears the mist, Soth looks back and just, damn. You see a few, he has 3 of his skeletons remaining out of the 6 that actually came out of the mist with him. The ghouls are either dead or dying at the moment as combat ends. He looks back to the captain and he puts his sword up as a salute. She gives a curtsy from the wheel and sets the steering point, actually turning the ship back towards the other way instead of going to Navarcha Springs now because the giant cloud of mist in the way. So she begins to walk down the deck and checking on her people slowly as she makes her way towards you guys and where Soth is standing. Soth motions the skeletons. Get this trash off the deck. They begin dragging the ghoul creatures and throwing them overboard one by one. Anything alive still squirming, he stabs as he's walking through piece, but just walking through them. Larissa makes it to the 2 of you. I only know him by reputation. Do either of you actually know him?
No.
Can't say I've made his acquaintance prior to today. No.
We played golf at a tournament one time. He's kind of shitty in the sand.
I didn't realize he was actually in the domain. I heard his domain actually collapsed in the cataclysms.
Oh, well, to be fair, he wasn't expecting to get here either. I think him showing up was just as much a surprise to him as the mist showing up for us was to us.
I wouldn't chance his wrath. It says that he's honorable, I believe is the term they use.
Okay. And for what it's worth, he did give me something to cure the poison that I got stricken with. So, sure.
He respects fighters. He respects those who stand their line.
Oh.
He still thinks himself a knight.
Oh. Okay.
At least that's what they're saying.
Well, let's just work under the assumption that's true for right now until he gives us reason to think otherwise.
Well, he said parley after, so I'm just wondering how much he knows about me and my dance of death.
What now?
I have an ability I learned from one of the Dark Lords on how to control the dead with a dance.
Great. He seems to think that I'm somebody else, so I would.
Who?
Somebody else. So I'd like to maybe not be here.
Oh, I don't see your friend Kevin. I think he might be hiding.
I'm gonna look at Larissa and be like, I don't know, Katara? He called me also Dark Lady, which is, a name that sometimes people call me, but I haven't heard of Katara.
The song sings that where he came from, she was something to him there. But that was, I think the world was called Kryn, from the way the bards sing.
Does that mean anything to any of us?
None of you are actually from the world Kryn.
Okay.
Just like Faerun, Kryn would be a world that got pulled to they pulled from to the domain of darkness
Gotcha.
or the domain of dread.
Oh, didn't we hear the place of Kren before with the little kobold guy?
Mm-hmm.
He's from there.
Hawks.
Hawks. Yeah, Hawks is from there.
Wait a minute.
Well, no, Hawks was from Eberron.
Oh, he's from. Oh, I thought he was from Kren.
Let me, because he spoke of the dragon below, I believe. Let me go back to my notes on Hawks. Where's Hawks? Omadon.
He's on the boat too, isn't he?
No, Hawks
No.
is not with you guys.
Are we sure?
Mm-hmm.
I thought Hawks stayed over at the
I think Hawks came with us and ate on the boat.
Hawks showed up at that house that
After
village.
the fireball, he hopped on your horse, rode with you. We got on the boat. You're welcome.
Ooh.
Oh shit, Hawks has been on the boat the entire time.
He's just
Fuck.
slept through. He slept through the whole thing.
He's hiding.
He's gonna have to, because I did not account for the chaos of Hawks in this. That would have been another level of shit
Yeah.
going on.
The boat
You
would be
imagine
on fire.
Yeah, that's the other problem.
What if he was just
Okay.
sleeping through the whole thing?
That would be hilarious. All right, we're
He
gonna have
puts
to bring
ear-
Hawks
he
out of
puts-
the awkwardest
He
moment.
puts candle wax in his ears when he sleeps so that he doesn't get woken up. And then
He might wear his
wakes
sister's
up
skull, keeps him quiet.
with the chain ripped through his entire bed frame. He's just like, what the hell?
So, Hawks comes.
Hawks.
Soth comes walking over. Larissa gives him a curtsy. He gives her a head bow. I'm Lord Soth, Land of Kryn, previous Dark Lord of Sithicus before its fall.
Huh.
She's like, I'm Captain Larissa of the River Dance. I said that right. Yeah, the River Dance. The River Dancer. He nods. Your boat has been through Sithicus before the fall. Meant to have you come perform, but time escaped me. And he nods to the two of you as the gaze in the helmet turns.
Mm-hmm.
Cass will kind of do like a bow.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to curtsy in this armor, but she'll do like a kind of bow.
And your name's Dark Lady?
Kesselgard Raskill, but you can call me Kestrel.
Rain Tree Shea, captain of the Sea Bitch.
Have you touched our waters in Sithicus?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
All right. Scratches his helmet and he puts his his gauntlet down. I see him. I'm in trouble to get to shore.
Yeah.
Soth, I do not like being in the debt of others. Captain, he's trying to figure out what you use. Actually, he's assuming Larissa's captain. He knows Larissa's captain the bow, but what would it take to get to shore to drop off? She's like, well, these two wanted to take a longboat down the Lake of Lost Dreams, and they could probably drop you at the shore. And
Cass mentally is like, what did I just say?
she's like, and your bone friends. He looks back.
I like this hard cut scene. Like if this were a movie, it would just hard cut to all of us in a boat. So like
the
so
boat together.
it's like all the skeletons in a big net dragging behind it. So
Visit Darkon often?
what's her favorite kind of cheese? I'm an Asiago man.
He kind of moves around. There's an ore on this ship. Was there lich here?
I just kind of turned to Larissa.
She's like, she kind of like, we might have had one on board. Dr. Midnight was on board. He's like, does he have another name? Only one he travels by that I know of.
Francis Holden.
Soth, he's like, he sounds familiar. Or he feels familiar. Shakes his head. He shakes the helmet for a minute and huffs. He looks over. How soon are you departing on the longboat?
Well, before you and everyone else showed up, we were about a half days away from doing so. So, assuming we can still travel in that direction at the same speed we're about a half day from disembarking.
You a fan of juggling?
Isn't the mist in our way now, though? Aren't we just gonna have to?
He's like, yes, the Lake of Lost Dreams is behind us to the east.
Yeah.
Larissa chimes in. Well, you could always take down the Nezron River. It's a little farther to the west. It'd probably take you 3 days out of your way.
But it avoids the mist right now.
It'll avoid the mist right now.
And
you can give the mist a day or so and it may leave.
That's what I was going to ask. Generally speaking, how long would we have to wait before the mist decides to shift or dissipate? So we can wait here for a day, or we can take an extra 3 days worth of travel on a boat with a Dark Lord and his entourage.
Soth speaks, unless you know of Astani.
Not personally, guess.
Then either waiting a day or taking a longboat. It's up to your call. I just need to get to shore.
Either way, we're gonna have to sleep on the same boat with this guy, and that's weirded me out.
Or we get off the boat now. And then
actually,
we go our separate ways.
We meant to get off here, actually. Well, that's what we were meaning.
Yeah, we can disembark here.
As soon as I hear Kes say that, I'm gonna sneak back off to the back and start loading up a boat, like a to-go ship.
This is in addition to the longboat?
I think it is the longboat.
It is the longboat? Okay. I mean,
because out of character, like, we can spend a bunch of extra time on this boat with this guy, which I do not want to do.
Sure.
Or we have like a quick, awkward boat ride, and then once we get to shore, we all go our separate ways.
Okay.
Which is what I would prefer.
No, that's fine.
Clearly this dude is like really powerful.
We weren't super far from shore. If he really wants to go to that location, we can get off here, just tie a rope to the back of the boat. We'll row it there and they can pull it back. And that way we don't even have to ride with them in the boat, because that's for sure me sitting right in front of this guy is not ideal.
We okay, so we're gonna take him to shore.
Mm-hmm.
No. His take him to shore would be waiting a day. He needs to go to a particular location, right?
He just wants to get to shore.
Oh, well, fuck it. Let him get to shore and then we'll stay here. And then we'll pull the boat back.
Yeah. I mean, in that case,
if he doesn't care what shore, we have a particular shore.
Yeah. I mean, am I intuitive enough to read the situation that I need to take the longboat and travel and ferry everyone over to the shore and then come back?
Larissa rather not send one of her people with him.
So it's going to be me.
It's gotta be me.
Then I will go ahead and volunteer
I'll go with you, Rain.
I am not going fucking anywhere. I'm staying right where I'm at.
Yeah. It's not that you don't want to be on the boat with him. You just don't want to be on the boat with him any longer than is absolutely necessary.
No, we've already established that fucking when I gave the note, she knew of me, which means that people that travel around a lot probably have heard of me or can see my coat.
You guys have also caught wind that Chunakote was in Sithicus when it fell. He was captured by Soth, and Soth got information out of him.
So
if he caught a glimpse of Kevin, there is a good chance he may exactly put it together.
So I'm staying right where I'm at.
Okay, so Kess and I are going to take the longboat with Soth and his party of 12 and whatever, and we're going to ferry him over to shore, and then we're going to come back.
Soth, party of what? 22.
Yeah. I hope it's a big enough longboat.
Kevin, you feel a poke in your back leg.
Is it Hawks?
Yes.
I'm not even gonna look back. I don't know who this fucking is. I was like, shh.
Hawks wants to know why we're whispering.
Because if you don't, we're both gonna die. I'm gonna take my hand.
Hawks pulls out his skull. Shh. If we're not quiet, we're gonna die.
I'm gonna take my hand.
You again.
Slowly across the side of his face, wrapping one finger at a time around his mouth, and then holding it.
His eyes are saying 1,000 words right now as they're darting between you and the skull. All right. Soth looks down. I appreciate your help. Soth will owe you a favor. Not Soth. I gotta quit speaking third person.
That's Dr. Midnight.
I know. Oh God.
Is
so
Dr.
many
Midnight
NPCs.
and Soth the same person?
Ooh.
That's my theory.
Oh.
They both wear like face coverings.
Mm-hmm. No two people can wear masks if they're not the same person.
That's right.
I know.
All people
That's why
masculine
Avengers
related.
is such a weird movie to me.
He looks down at Ren. I mean, you're dead, and I will pay that honor.
It makes the best barbecue spare ribs. You're gonna really dig it.
Ooh. Okay.
They may come from a skeleton dragon, but they are good.
Soft and juicy.
So you guys, she gets the longboat prepared for you guys, and Soth and his remaining 3 get onto the boat.
Okay.
The boat kind of gets heavy in the water when all 3 of the skeletons are on.
Okay. That's some dense bones there.
He's like, "You 3 don't breathe. Walk to shore." They step up and step off the boat.
Oh.
He's like, "My tunic's dirty enough. I'm not getting in the water."
Fair enough.
It's fair.
I'll start.
This cast in her filthy armor.
Yeah, it's just you're all nasty. I'll start. So it's just the 3 of us on the boat then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll get to ruin then.
All right.
No, I'll get it.
This guy has complained about having to manage boats more than any person.
It's your career, Rain.
I'm a captain. I have people who do this for me.
And on this little boat, you're the captain of it. This is your job. Other people are cargo.
I put in my dues, all right? I swapped decks and fucking tied ropes and shit. I already did that. I put in my time.
So out of the 3 of us in this boat, you're the best rower.
That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like it. I'm gonna complain about it, but
what
I will
do old
it.
men know more than stroke? Yeah. That's you, man. That's all you. You got it.
Soth's eyes are focused on Kestrel
just
as he rows.
Bitch under my breath.
Well, nice work with those whatever those were back on the boat.
I believe they are called, or the mages call them gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
They are an odd creature of creation of magic and darkness. And then the others were Blymont ghouls. Some mage thought it was funny to start creating things. I'm finding Darkon more and more full of mages that need taught a lesson.
Darkon's an interesting place. There's always work to do.
Aslan had left his house in complete disarray. The bastard. At least Strahd kept his kingdom together. He was an ass, though. You remind me of someone, your eyes. A sword woman I fought a few months back. Blonde hair and a ponytail. Her name was started with Sariel. I've never fought someone with her prowess with a sword before. It's been a long time. Held herself as a true knight. You have her eyes.
I don't know anyone by that name.
Neither did I until I faced her.
That was here in Darkon?
Mm-hmm.
Did you win?
No, we came to a draw. We found another enemy to face. Someone interrupted our duel. We agreed to meet again someday and face to find out who was better.
Well, I am also pretty good with the sword, but I don't see any reason for us to need to duel.
You can tell by the hilt it's been used. Sword seems older than you, though. Was it passed down through the family?
I found this.
No. There are many things found in the Dread Realms. Most of them not good. Count yourself lucky you found something that was decent and didn't come cursed.
It's best to use what you can when you find something good.
Mm-hmm. Though the man in armor with her wouldn't shut up. Remember his name very well. If it wasn't for her, I probably would have ripped out his throat.
What's his name?
Damocus. A damn fear that wouldn't shut up.
Oh. Kess is gonna nod. She knows who that is.
Aslan sure picks his people weird.
Well, they say he's not here anymore, although it depends on who you ask.
No, Aslan's gone. That's why I'm here.
Are you looking to become the new ruler of this place?
If I'm going to be trapped in the Dead Realms, I will rule a realm. Since Aslan left, it seemed that this would be the best choice with the necropolis in the center. Only fitting in a Death Knight rule. But there's others. There's an imposter running around claiming he's the Curious Rex.
Oh boy, do we have news about that?
Do tell.
Oh no, I didn't say that out loud.
Oh.
Rain just starts.
Yeah, there's I think a lot of people are looking for opportunity with Aslan missing.
He's not missing. I'm pretty sure he actually escaped the Dread Realms. He always said he would.
Hmm.
Strahd mocked him and didn't think he would.
Well,
But Strahd ran his mouth more than he should have.
Strahd's dead, from what I've heard.
Strahd's dead, baby. Strahd's dead.
That was the best news I heard since I got here.
Nobody liked the vampire guy.
He was the only one strong enough to challenge my power. I heard he actually got done in with an accursed sunblade or something.
I don't know. I've never left Darkon before.
There was someone they called the professional involved. I came here because they supposedly one of them was here. And I came to take over the land, but the name Chinakote ring a bell to you?
I'm sorry, Chocotuna? What is it?
Chukakarzard?
Charcoal Tony?
Oh man. So out of character, the name is familiar to Kess because she's read Adri's journal.
Mm-hmm. So the question is there recognition in her eye when he asks?
I know. Oh man, my deception is not good. I'm gonna try to like poker face.
I mean, you could literally just not do anything. Let him.
I just want to not react.
I like how Rachel always tries to make the active action, right? In every opportunity, she'll try to go ahead and lie it out. It's like one of those sitcoms when people get caught and they can't just be like, I don't
No.
Okay, so Cass just gonna be like,
I'm gonna read that motherfucker.
No.
Just like when Rachel moved, she was like trying to like be active all the time. It's just, I think it's a personality trait. You have to be active, and it comes through in the characters.
So there was someone when it sounds odd, but there's supposed to be a man named this professional that wore a trench coat. Came across one. The name wasn't the professional. They confirmed though that the professional died in the castle.
This is the quietest boat ride of all fucking time.
Yeah, how's that ruin going, right?
Boy, sure is a lovely day when you don't look at the mist, isn't it?
He's just kind of looking at the two of you. Eventually, you guys do reach shore.
Thank God.
Well,
this is your stop.
He gets up and gets out.
If you had a nice ride, please give me a 5-star review. I'd appreciate it.
I'll make sure to tell Kavir you said hey.
Oh no.
He's like, when I take this land, you will be free to sail it in your sea bitch.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
How did he know the name of your ship?
Because I introduced myself.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't a cool parlor trick.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
No, well, in your debt, Captain Trichet. I don't take that lightly.
I wouldn't imagine someone of your stature would. Well, where are you heading next, if I might ask?
I think I'm going to head south. I was originally heading to New Varcha. It seems that there's that cult that brought up that imposter Decurious Rex is somewhere based near the springs.
Hmm.
Then I need to hunt down this madam that thinks she can take it over and slay her. Then after that into Maturia Bay to put the Kagrat down for good.
Hmm. The third part doesn't sound.
I guess we'll
Yeah.
let you nod to that part.
That third part, yeah, I think I like the cut of your jib a little bit here, Soth. If I'm being honest.
And then I'll make my way to the floating castle.
Oh.
All right. Well, you've got yourself quite an itinerary.
The dark powers seem to not be contacting, so I have to find a way to make them contact.
Oh.
Do they use T-Mobile? That could be it. T-Mobile's been down for a couple of days.
Yeah.
They seem to like to toy with everyone at the worst possible moments.
Hmm. Well,
Kestrel, beware of yourself. If I can only give you one thing, I'll give you advice. The dark powers have a hand on you. It's easy to see if you know what you're looking for and know what to see. As one that's been a toy of their mechanisms for years, watch yourself. It's very evident they have a hand on you. I may end up facing you one day for the Dark Lord of this realm.
I have no interest in rolling.
Most Dark Lords don't. It's a curse.
She said that like she's about to announce her Senate candidacy. I'm sorry. I haven't even thought about it. I've just been collecting money for no reason.
Yeah.
weighing my options.
Well,
We'll see where we are in November.
thank you for the advice.
Have you heard them yet?
Sometimes I hear dead things speak to me.
Have you heard what they want?
They just say a prophecy, I think.
The blood of the first, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to the race.
I don't want to be a Dark Lord.
Wait a minute, I heard the same thing too.
Well, you don't get the warning.
True.
He begins to walk away.
This
The
seems like an
skeletons
overrun for-
come out of the water.
Yep. The three of them begin coming up. He stops for a second, begins to move his hand on the ground, and another skeleton comes out. He lifts it up and pulls it up, begins walking farther.
I'm gonna lean over to Rain and be like, let's go.
Yeah, I'm already ruined.
You guys reach back to the ship. No issue, no contest.
Okay.
That's good.
Then Hellfire Ball from... I'm kidding.
Hawks, no.
He sneezed.
I said Hellfire. That was fucking the other guy.
Oh,
The
Thanks
goddamn
for the
thing
ride,
that does fucking
losers.
70 damage per hit. So,
suckers.
you ever heard the tale of the scorpion and the turtle? Yeah, bitch, guess what? Scorpion begs the turtle to take it across the river, and the turtle says, fuck you, you're deadly. No, I swear I won't stab you. Halfway across, Scorpion stabs him. It's in my nature. They both drowned.
Turtle has a shell on his back.
I didn't write the damn story.
No, I just always thought it was a weird one. Whenever I hear
Yeah.
it, I'm like, it's covered. It's literally its whole back is.
He got him in the soft neck part, in the neck meat.
Thank you so much for listening to Return to Ravenloft, a Freelance Heroism podcast. If you'd like to support us more, check us out on patreon.com/freelance_heroism and just donate any amount. We have prizes and journal entries and art that we post regularly, a few times a week, and we'd really appreciate any support you could give us. Thank you.
Our cast includes Rachel Moore as Kesselgard Reskill, Dees Cassius as Master Kavir, Nathan Lett as Captain Rain Trichet, and David, aka D-Walk, as Dr. Midnight, and everyone else in the game. Thanks again for listening, and we will see you next week.
The invoice is in the mail. Also, this is like a little bonus thing. I whenever I watch a new player die for the first time, I without fail make their new character in my head what I know that they're gonna do. Now you can put this at the tail end of the credits if you want, so that they won't listen to this part.
Okay.
Okay. But I'm just saying that when a person who's playing like a mage or a druid or something like that, when they die, their next character is without fail a character in plate mail every fucking time.